Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today I am smack dab in the middle on a really cool project, and I thought to myself, you know what? This just might be the perfect opportunity to treat this as a teaching moment, because what I have here is one of the most high-end, premium, and luxurious themes you'll ever see us painting on a pair of shoes. Joking, since I'm actually painting Captain Underpants, but I thought let me go ahead and share my process for how I go about painting a detailed logo or using a vinyl stencil on a fabric tongue tag such as the one we have here on this pair of Air Force Ones. So the first thing we need to do anytime you're working on tongue tags like these is paint the entire thing with a fabric medium added to your paint. Now there's a few different ones out there. You can use something like Angelus Too Soft or GAC 900 as well. Once you have that step complete, we can then grab our ruler in order to measure out just how big we want to cut our vinyl stencils for the logo itself. I'm going to roll with roughly 1.25 inches here so I can take that measurement and input that into our vinyl cutting software. In this case, I'm using Silhouette Studio, and I'll be using a Silhouette Cameo in order to cut the vinyl. Now, when it comes to what vinyl to use on something like this, we actually need to go with something a little bit stronger than what you might use for your everyday vinyl on materials like leather or other synthetics, because it's so much harder to actually get that vinyl down and adhered to the fabric. So the ones that I have found to work the best over the years is going to be permanent glitter vinyls. Now they're still going to be completely removable, but they're just going to stick to our surface much better. So the specific one that I use is called Scissor Easy PSV vinyl, and I'll make sure to have that link down below if you guys want to go ahead and give it a try. Back into our stencil cutting software, and the next thing that I'm going to do is highlight our logo, right click it, and then select Release Compound Path. After that, I'm going to highlight the entire logo once again, right click to copy it, and paste it right beside it. Then I'm going to drag just the outer silhouette right below that and delete everything else that was left behind. This is just so that we have a clean and precise copy of the silhouette of the entire logo to lay down first. And if I click Fill Style to change the color, you can see that we're left with just that main silhouette. Now we can head over to the Send tab, and I'm going to make sure that we're connected to my Silhouette Cameo 3. And then for the cut settings, I usually like to stick with most of the presets, such as Vinyl Glossy. But in this case, since that glitter vinyl is a little bit thicker, I'm going to go ahead and up that force to 15. Then we're ready to click Send. Now, as I mentioned, I always like to start with the silhouette of the logo itself, just so I know that none of the vinyl is getting stuck on itself, none of the pieces are getting bent out of place, and you can't go wrong if you know that you're starting from a perfect outline to begin with. Now, another reason that I think that it really helps to lay down this piece of the vinyl first, which can be referred to as the positive portion, is because then you can really start to envision where your entire logo is going to be painted. So then you can really ensure that you're getting that perfect placement amongst whatever surface you're going to be painting on. Once you're happy with that placement, you can then lay down the negative portion of the vinyl next, heat set that entire thing down, and then remove the positive portion on the inside. I'm going to mask off the surrounding area of the entire stencil next, just to ensure we don't get any overspray on any areas we don't intend. If you haven't heard me mention this next step before, it's absolutely crucial to ensure that you don't end up with any of that paint leaking underneath your stencil. We need to seal the stencil, and we can do this by painting whatever color we have underneath the stencil as our first color on top, or using something like a colorless paint such as Angelus's Neutral. This will ensure that if any paint does leak underneath the stencil, it's going to be whatever color you paint first. So we either want that to match whatever color we have underneath, which is gray in this case, or use something like a colorless paint. After a little bit of heat setting, we can then move into our color next. But Dylan, how do I know what color of my logo I'm supposed to paint first? Great question, and I'm glad you asked. There's only 2 colors, so it's gotta be kinda like a coin flip, right? Not exactly, and I actually think it'll be a little bit easier if I demonstrate this to you on a computer screen. So let's say we start with our silhouette, and let's pretend for this case that you wanted to try painting the color white first. After you have all of that white laid down, you would then need to take the coordinating pieces of the stencil and match them up within the silhouette itself. And there's of course a few different ways you could go about doing this. You could first try eyeballing it. You could use something like registration marks, which are commonly used in processes such as screen printing, or if you're ever working with really complex multi-layer stencils of vinyl. But there's still a lot of room for error here, and you can see that even if I rotate this vinyl by just a few degrees, things are really going to start to get misaligned, and we're not going to have those clean, consistent black outlines once we eventually paint that next. But if we were to start with our outline color first, which is black in this case, and lay that down as the first color within our silhouette, then once we take that coordinating piece of the stencil, which is the black outline, we can butt that all the way up against the outer edge of the silhouette, and now we have something really clean and easy to follow all the way around. So as long as this piece matches up really cleanly with our initial silhouette, you're going to be in for a good time once we go to peel everything back. So for what you might consider a similar but probably more common everyday type of scenario where you might use a technique like this is if you're ever painting a Nike swoosh that has an outline with it. This is something that I do all the time when painting cleats, and I always start by painting that outline color first. Then I can take that outline stencil, place it right up against the edge of the silhouette, and trust that I'm going to have that clean, consistent line weight all the way around when it comes to peeling that stencil back. So now that we've been through all of that to determine what color should you paint first, let's lay down some black. After a couple light coats of black, along with some heat setting, we're ready to get our stencil attached to our transfer tape. The brand I prefer to use is called Green Star Lay Flat Classic. I've weeded out just a few pieces of the stencil so you could see which portion we're working with. After we've pressed that transfer tape onto our vinyl, we can then remove the backing next. This next step is going to show you just why I like to use this specific brand of transfer tape. It really does look and feel almost just like another tape, so what I like to do is remove all of the excess and try to get as close as possible to the edge while removing just enough that I can actually see a little bit of it so that it makes my job easier when it comes to aligning things. Here's what I want that to look like, and you can see those outer edges of the stencil peeking past that transfer tape. Now we can take this piece and place it right up against those outer edges of the silhouette vinyl that we've already laid down. Take your time here as we really want things to be as precise as possible. Now I can weed out any of the remaining pieces of vinyl that I won't be using. Next step, we're going to be doing a little trick that I've never shared before, and when you see it, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Dylan, there ain't no way I am doing that step. But if you're like me, and you want there to be as little chance as humanly possible of needing to do any touch-ups to any degree, try this. Let's pretend for a second and say that when I was laying down the most recent piece of vinyl in which I was supposed to get my edges as close to the initial edge of the silhouette as humanly possible, let's suppose that I were to have missed by a little bit here and there. What would happen when I lay down some of that white paint next? You guessed it right, paint touch-ups, and we want as few of those as possible here. Therefore, we need to close all of these potential gaps. So let's head back into Silhouette Studio, and I'm going to highlight just our silhouette piece. Then we're going to head over to the Offset tab. Now there's no perfect number that I can give you here since it totally depends on the size of the image that you're working with, but we only need this offset to be just a little bit bigger than our initial silhouette. I'm going to click that first silhouette again and then click Internal Offset next. I want this offset to be even smaller, and I really need to make sure that it doesn't end up being bigger than any of the black outlines. Now, if I take this new, let's call it a gap covering piece of vinyl and place it on top of our logo, you can see that it extends out past the logo, but the inner portion doesn't extend onto any of the letters. I get it, sounds crazy, one extra step. Once we place it on the shoes, it'll make a bit more sense. Another way of doing this is just taking a bunch of pieces of individual tape and placing those right on top of some of the gaps. But with this way, we now have one continuous piece that is going to wrap around the entire image. And depending on your logo, doing all of those individual pieces of tape might actually end up being even more work than doing this step. So we can place that right along the edge of where our new vinyl met our initial silhouette. Then before you paint any color, don't forget to seal your stencil next. Instead of just diving into using white paint since it's so translucent, I like to start with something like light gray that has much more body and is going to serve as a much better base. Then I'll start to slowly mix a little bit more of white paint into each layer. And I'll repeat that process until I'm on my 5th coat, where I'm at about probably 90% white and 10% light gray. Even on my final layer, I never go with just pure white because it's just far too translucent in my opinion. Now for the fun part, let's go ahead and start peeling some of this tape back. Don't forget to heat set the vinyl as well while you're removing it in order to loosen it up a bit. And as you can see, things are looking pretty good as we start to peel some of that vinyl back. So there you have it, guys. I cannot wait to share the finished product on this pair of shoes with you guys. We have an entire video on the making of these, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that one. And please go ahead and drop a like on this video if you haven't already, guys. My name's Dylan DeJesus, and now everybody get out there and just create.